Thank you, Veronica. Okay, in progress. Okay, thank you, everyone, and I'm glad to be able to have my presence tonight to help you all to understand and actually to help you understand further how and why things happen as we age, and probably even to understand even much more in a simpler way whereby you are able to manage that. A lot of times we won't able to manage what we can, but then through a bit more knowledge and through a bit more understanding, hopefully by this evening I can able to enlighten you further how to manage conditions as we go ahead in age, probably more gracefully. All right. Okay. So, having NGF made simple, having something that is researched and in a very complicated way, how to make it simple, and it's something that's it's not easy to decipher, but it can be broken down into as simple the ABCs. Hopefully, by end of this session, if you all think that I speak German, please let me know, or if I speak French. But if I do speak English or Mandarin, you understand, please also type in the chat group accordingly and encourage me a little more further. Okay. All right. Now, there are a lot of cells in our body, about 4 trillion cells, and in our cells, out of the amount of cells that we have. Now, I'm going to go deep dive directly into it so that we are able to have something along the way as we go towards the end. All right. Now, out of all the 4 trillion cells that we have in our body, 100 billion or so are the nervous system, the neurons. Right. And when we have neurons available, we have to also take care of it, because why? It is born, we are all born with it. All the cells of the nerves, we are born with it, and it is not easy to replicate and replenish. All right. So, having said that, what happens when some of them start dying? I think it's a bit of a worrying thing when some of them start dying and you cannot have replacement. So what nature does is that, or what God and nature does is that we are loaded with extra neurons, standby. All right. And when we stand by, and when our body have a lot of stocks to stand by, we usually will use it along the way. Somehow or rather, things may not go according to plan. Why do I say that? To give you an idea first about the nervous system. All right, what it has, let me put it out in laser. There's a division of nervous system that we all have. We split up into central nervous system down to our spinal cord, and then our spinal cord will expand out into the peripheral system, all the nerves that goes out to the surrounding parts of the body. And then from there you have the voluntary nervous system. That means you can move it according to what you wish, how it can move, and those that you cannot control, and those are the involuntary control of your functioning of the heart, how you control certain breathing, but you need to breathe still. And there are areas whereby your other vital organs, the brain function, the liver function, the kidney, all this runs automatically. All right. So these are the autonomic nervous system, means the automatic systems of the nerves which functions by itself. You don't need to have control, full control of it. In our nervous system, there is thing called neurological nerve disorder, which involves, that means to say, our nerve having an issue. And those issues are listed here in general, starting from the milder ones, depression. And I don't play it down milder, because depression can go into something more severe. All right, and those who can't come out from depression can be quite fatal. Then you have epilepsy, you have fits in general, and you have memory loss, you have amnesia. I hope the Chinese translation next to it is correct. I did the best I can. And then you have autism that comes in. There are certain proteins in the brain that are lacking, and because of that, the nerve connecting the message that goes across is not able to be transmitted carefully and in a proper way. Then you have associated identity disorder, and the dissociative disorder is meaning to say you have split personality. Suddenly you're Dr. Jekyll, and then the next thing you're Mr. Hyde. So you have split personality. And if you go down more severe in nerve damage disorder, you have stroke. Stroke meanings 中风 means that certain part of the cells of the artery in the brain suddenly ruptures, and it also destroys part of the nerves and the surrounding tissue. And when that happens, nerves start to be damaged. Then you have a area whereby many people understand dementia. It's a very big umbrella word called dementia. And then you have a bit more severe in a different branch of this dementia is different part of the brain. You call it Alzheimer's. Parkinson's, you have it in certain area of another part of the brain, which I will go into it later on. And you have schizophrenia, whereby the last few, all these are a lot of them treated by pharmaceutical drugs. That means the doctors will be involved. And the incidence and treatment cost is not very small, and it's actually quite huge. Dementia costs the whole global wide economy over $1 trillion US. We have someone who is able to put a dollar value to it. And in 2016, it's an estimated 1 billion people worldwide have neurological disorder. That means 1 in every 7. If I look at your Zoom, I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th one of you you may have. All right, so 1 in every 7. So what Singapore researchers have found, for every person with dementia, the person itself, the family, and the society as a whole have to bear about 10.2K more annually in health and social care costs, and versus those without the condition. So it is an escalating cost. It used to cost lesser. Now for diabetes, it already cost 10.7K, but in 2030, now we are reaching 2013, 10.2K cost per household for neurological problems and disorder. So there were officially in Singapore, 40,000 dementia diagnosed patients in Singapore in 2013, and is projected to reach at 53,000 by last year, and 187,000 by another 30 years' time. In Philippines, Indonesia, the population is huge, and the correlation will be even more, because why we do not have accurate data that comes out from each country in ASEAN. So it is not easy to really track dementia neurological problems itself. Okay, a lot of y'all will say, okay, dementia, yeah, I saw a lot of people coming into the chat and say, okay, I am a lot of forgetfulness, a lot of people key 111. I think you kid a lot of times, forgetfulness. But actually, forgetfulness with normal aging is actually not equal to dementia at all. Right? People will say that, oh, last time I got good memory. Previously, I had trouble remembering, but where to left my house keys? Where did I put my mask? Where did I put this and that? But actually, that is not considered dementia. Right? It's a false alarm. All right? If you say like that, children will say, I forgot this, I forgot that. Is that dementia? No, it's not. All right? So it is perfectly still normal, because their focus and concentration level is at a different stage each time. So now, what is dementia? It is actually a slow brain disorder. So to put it very simple, when you say dementia, wow, it's something very big, but actually it's a slow brain disorder. And it is the dementia. Now I'm moving on to more into dementia area first, all right? Because the bigger incidents that is coming up, like a tsunami of the silver generation. Dementia is the loss of intellectual abilities, such as the thinking, you remember things differently, your reasoning has been interfered, all right? And your daily functioning, because of thinking, remembering, reasoning, all will start to change. Now, this is not a disease by itself, but rather more of a group of symptoms that accompany it. That means to say, it is not just one or two, it must have a group of symptoms that you see occurring. Then you say, is that possibly dementia? Okay? So it is an illness which affects the brain and causes the cells to die at a faster rate than normal, leading to failing memory. And then you reduce your intellectual function. That means you can't think rationally, properly. And because of that, it affects your personality and it changes you. All right? And dementia may not be part of normal aging. Okay? For example, Einstein, he forget this, forget that, but hey, he's a brilliant guy, right? But that doesn't mean he has a lot of problem with dementia. Look at our late founder for Singapore, LKY, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Up to his age, where he's at that age, before he went into the hospital with pneumonia, all right, he was still invited for talks, and people prick his brain and look into all the incidents, and he can reason very clearly. And you don't talk nonsense to him, because he understands what you say and where you're coming from. So he cannot be because he has he's aging, he's having dementia. No. So actually, where and how dementia comes in? It's a type of nutrition that goes into our gut, which is important, that leads to dementia. And second thing, it may be inherited through your genes. Your parents, grandparents, the rest of the whole family tree, we got to see. All right? And you have also the immune system that plays a major part. Last but not least is the aging status. Now, these are the 4 takeaways that you will have to get this into your mind at the end of today, at the end of this evening. All right? These are the 4 takeaways, major takeaways when leading into dementia. Now, the common types of dementia are in Alzheimer's dementia. So what it means is the progressive loss of brain cells, okay, and due to or related to the insoluble proteins that is surrounding inside the brain. So these formation of the insoluble proteins start to come up, and they cannot go anywhere, and they start to build up inside the brain cells. And you have another type of dementia, the vascular dementia, whereby you have stroke, okay, multiple strokes. Some people have dementia and you don't see them having stroke and then they can't move one side. No, that is a different kind of stroke already, whereby half the body is incapacitated, you can't move. Now, the difficult thing to pick up on multiple stroke is that you have the stroke, but the person still walk and talk normally, but they have multiple strokes within certain part of the brain that happens, and that causes that breakdown in the nerves in the various parts of the brain, and that will have the onset and speed up dementia. All right, so this is when people talk about dementia. So these are the different types that you will see. So what are the signs and symptoms? Not only forget the entire event, the person will also can't remember when had the dinner, for example, an hour ago, and say, hey, I'm hungry, when are we going to have dinner again? So something is not right, isn't it? And then the signs and symptoms are, number 2, lose the ability to perform everyday simple tasks, such as all the normal dressing up, your eating, your bathing. So your activities of daily living, we call in short the ADLs. All right? And also, You will see sometimes you will have more of the time become restless and irritable and become very agitated because of the area of the memory have changed. If you have seen the movie now that's showing The Father, if you go and take a look at the movie, you will understand to an extent how a person who has dementia and who has problem understanding and changing of personality will come in. All right. Now, losing the ability to make decision is can be quite scary if you're in an area or in a position whereby you need a lot of decision making. All right. That's why the people whereby they have their gradual losing in sense of time and place and decision making, they get very agitated. And losing their way around the familiar neighborhood is very common. You walk around the HDB or the housing area and you see people wandering sometimes. Sometimes they wonder how to find the supermarket they used to go. After that, they will go to supermarket. I thought I supposed to go this route going home, and now it is not the same. So it is, to them, it is a very daunting experience. And they become less communicative, and because of that, they become more reclusive. That means they always keep to themselves. And some, not only very quiet, some can be very aggressive. They run with you, and they hold a weapon and run after you. Probably one of you all later on, when we will do our sharing later on, probably if you those who have some of those stories, do let us know how you all feel. Okay. Now, the early signs of onset is so slow and so gradual that it may be missed out. So I'm moving in severe dementia, then that will be more difficult. In severe dementia, you can see, okay, I can't recognize anyone, you're a total stranger, and I don't know what to do, how to do everyday tasks. I need you to help me dress up, I need you to feed me, I need you to help me bathe. So a lot of things may not be able to be done slowly and progressively as the days goes on, weeks goes on, and the months goes ahead. The less common type of dementia, all right, is called Parkinson's disease, or PD for short, not Pox Dickinson. Okay, it's Parkinson's disease. Now, symptoms of Parkinson's disease is such as, you know, when you see the person's limb has tremor, that means shaking, and sometimes they are rigid. It's very hard for them to be flexible, all right? And they also will say, hey, I see things, a bit of hallucinating. And the thing you will know also is when they walk and when they try to get up, they lose their balance quite easily. Or after a while of movement, they start to lose their balance. All right? So you will see all these signs and symptoms. So more than 10 million worldwide are living with Parkinson's disease. So it's not a lot, but these are recorded ones. Imagine those who have not been recording all these symptoms, and they go quietly through their daily lives, and the family have to take care of them. Now, incidence of Parkinson's disease will increase in age. An estimated 4% of Parkinson's are diagnosed before the age of 50, and there are many who are not diagnosed even before 50 years old. All right. I have a friend who already had his head shaking, his limbs shaking, but he said it has been shaking since in his early, when he was younger. So I was wondering, okay, that may not be Parkinson's yet, because his balance is good, his memory recollection is good, everything. So you need to have a host of things to know whether a person has Parkinson's also. So medication alone costs $2.5K a year. Now in US, because why? They are the one who do very good tracking in cost and cost containment. So in other countries, you don't have much data coming out how much to actually that you need to spend on a person who has Parkinson's. Now, talking about all this, then you ask me, will depression helps apart from all the aging comes in, will the children help in terms of autism? Will it help if we have also remove the cohort of people and improve their aging? And will the younger people who have neuro disorder also will be helped? Yes, they will be helped along the way. All right, they will be helped in different degrees. Okay, so beginning, I put it in color so you will know the sequence later on. Okay, how to better sharpen our brain. So it's like our sharpeners, we have to sharpen it to really use it. If not, we're gonna have problems trying to use it, and in the end you can't actually use very well. Now, how to sharpen our brain to start on with? We need to have more good intake of the right nutrition. We also need to take away the waste products, or you call it a brain detox. Why I say that? Because you are what you eat, you are what you wear, you are what you speak. So you need to have the right nutrition to be a person who is healthy and moving around to do productive things. All right, so you need the right nutrition, and you need to take away whatever you eat. Whatever we eat, we need to get rid of it, right? Every day we need to go to the toilet, isn't it? So we need to get rid of the waste products. So same as the brain, whatever you feed the cells in the brain, it will take in, and also it will clear the products, the waste products. It have to be cleared. So that's detoxing the brain. For you, you detox your body each time you go to the toilet, isn't it? Now, the right concentration is important of ingredients with the right amount. That means to say, if you can't get the right concentration, I have to extract it out in high concentration in the purest form. And also at the same time, to sharpen our brain, all these food ingredients will develop proper metabolism. What is proper metabolism? It means your food, when you eat, is converted into proteins, energy, and then at the same time it will have to get rid of the waste. That is called a proper metabolic system in the body. All right, that is normal. If you don't go to the toilet every day or once a week or once a month, you're in problems. Okay, your metabolic rate is not very good, your metabolism for the body. Okay, so with the metabolism not in good order, all these will accumulate in the body, and you have brain disorder. Same as a person who do not go for his kidney dialysis, he will have water retention, and he will be bloated up, and he will be squeezing on his heart and his lungs, and then the person can suffer in going to ICU. So you need that clearance of the waste. And the solution, using natural food, which is the best form of medicine, which helps improve our neural responses and our body and our cells response. All right. Another area, number 2, remember, first is food, proper nutrition, metabolic rate is important. Second is genetics. From genetics, we inherit, whether good or bad, all the genes from our family tree. And each gene express it differently. That means they function differently. If it's a good gene, it function like that. If it's a bad gene, it will slow down. If different function again, okay? So it can affect the whole nervous system on the genes, which is the headquarters of the whole nerve control center. All right. So normal function of a gene, a proper genes, is certain enzymes produced is to help the brain get rid of the waste, or you call it neural detox, which sometimes may not be present in a bad gene. So we hope that we have more good genes than bad. So another time, number 3, I put rate the immune system in your body, the immune status. What is important is in our lifetime, there are causes of infection. Okay? And there are unhealthy lifestyle. You're exposed to a lot of environmental exposure of different things in the environment, and then all this impact your immune system. And actually, it also affects your neural system. And the neural system accumulates And all these toxins accumulate and it become neuro disorder. That is the term they call it, neurological disorder. All your nerve having gonna have a bit of disorder. So what are the disorders that also at the same time as in our lifetime, as we age, our immune system also, it grows older. Huh? One thing is that when during the nerve itself, there is a protector. When we age, the protector will start to deteriorate. And then it will expose the nerve. And then without protection of the nerve, from the protector, it will lead to neuroinflammation. Which any inflammation in the body, what it will trigger? It will trigger a lot of soldiers. The immune system will come and start looking at, what is it? What's the foreign body in our body system? Something is inflamed, they will attack. Now, in the system of COVID, when you have COVID, your lungs inside, there will be inflammation. And then it will trigger the whole immune system in the body to start coming in and to start attacking the inflammation. Now, in the red, what it means, just imagine certain part of your brain tissue gets inflamed. And your own immune cells, imagine, will now attack your own brain tissue, and to get rid of the excessive nerve inflammation inside, which cannot be detoxed out. Same as when you have COVID, the immune system will come and attack the lung tissues. So it is a serious thing when you have inflammation. So the immune system is important to govern, to stay away from dementia and Parkinson's, all right? First, your immune system you need to have good brain detox to get rid of the waste. And then the immune status of the brain remain balanced, and the neuroinflammation inside will not be so many heavy inflamed cells, and then your immune system will not go and target it and start eating up your brain tissue. So it's a well-proven fact that our intestine, from after our stomach all the way to our large intestine, our whole gut system, the microbiome, which is all the bacteria inside the gut area there, the good and the bad, is responsible for 70% of our body immune system. And this is a fact. Why I say, because they teach you in medical school. They will teach you in the dietitians that will teach you how to eat properly. It is all written in all the books. It is also governed by all the professors that govern nutrition globally. All right, all this, it is a fact already and is proven. So, in other words, our gut system affects our brain. Why is it so? Because whatever we don't eat so well, and it start breaking down wrongly inside our gut system, our intestine, it is transported into the blood cells, and it's also going into the nerve cell, and it will travel up to the brain and crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it will start affecting your nervous system. All right, so that is something which we need to know. So in Avita, we have something that helps to protect our gut, Vita 18. Okay, there are 48 fruits and vegetables. Again, it is an extract. Extract means to say it's a high concentration, so that you won't eat a lot of 48 fruits all at one go, but it's all packed together and fermented for 540 days to help our gut improve. And at the same time, our Life Biotics, which is the probiotics, which is, by the way, in the US, they are using this. It is registered in the US. All the major surgeons are using this in their ICUs. And Life Biotics is to help have the good bacteria inside the gut over the bad bacteria. All right. You have more details, you can grab a brochure or ask those who have invited you here for more details. Okay. Now, another thing we have, earlier it was proper metabolism. Second is the genetics. Third, you get the immune system. Now, you have to remember the fourth thing is your aging status. Why I say that? Because when we age, more neural nerve, that is the nerve, start to degenerate. And you have less protection of the nerves. All the nerve protection start to deteriorate and leave the nerve exposed. So the body movement function also if the nerve is not working well, your body function, cognitive, that means tell your body what to move, will also decline. Worse so in Parkinson's disease, which means your brain is now starting to age. And how to delay cell degeneration or cell death? That means to say how to delay this aging. All right, is simply by growing more and regenerate more cells of the nerve cells and start to multiply to make sure it functions again. So the whole mesh of brain cells together start to deteriorate, and when they start breaking up and deteriorate, the signals cannot cross through and can't pass through. They have to find another path. It takes a longer path, and that's whereby your deterioration and the aging of the brain starts. Now, why NGF plus? Remember I told you, we need to have the correct food intake. You can't take a lot of things, and if you can, you need to have a lot of stomach space. So we have NGF is manufactured in such a way and designed and researched in such a way that it provides and to stimulate certain growth factors to help the nerve be nourished in the brain, regulate the immune system. It is also researched into helping in the retention of memory. And all these nerves, once is able to be regenerated, you have lower degeneration of diseases such as the Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and even it will reverse certain emotions, depression, and also control a certain amount in terms of the autistic area, and the lowering in terms of fits incidence in epilepsy also. And also it's perfect for chronic diseases and viral infections. Now, when I say viral infections, that exclude some things, okay? It's mainly the viral infection that affects the nerves. Like I say, it goes into the nerve, and the nerves will transfer into the brain, the major nervous system, and affects all the nervous system in the body. Okay, I'm excluding COVID, all right, because that is also viral infection, right? So there are certain infections that is more for the lungs. There are certain infections more targeted to the nerves. Okay, I'm trying to, okay. Now, edible, this, inside NGF, we have NGF plus, we have the high concentration of edible bird nest. Why is the high concentration important? Because compared to normal bird nests, all right, we found that they may have concern of hygiene, the process method, and also risk of contaminants inside. So what researchers found that with premium bird nest, why I tell you why the bird nest is selected, okay? They extract out with higher technology, because now it's from NGF, natural growth factor, to become a plus, meaning to say that technology has improved in terms of the extraction and the purity of it, and take the essence of the bird nest and selection from all the rest, and it helps in the autonomic nervous system as beneficial for that. Now, it's like taking, if you take, you say, why don't I take just bird nest? Yeah, bird nest, you got to take a lot. It's just like Brand's essence of chicken. One bottle of Brand's essence of chicken. You know how many chicken are inside 1 liter bottle of Brand's essence of chicken? If you all know, can type in how many chicken are there in the chat group. How many chicken inside there? Okay, for your information, there are 6 whole chicken inside a Brand's essence of chicken. Are you going to eat 6 chicken by just downing 1 essence of chicken? No, right? You can't eat 6 chicken, right, practically. So that's why it comes in the essence. Now the premium bird nest, 1 box is, how can I say, I cannot weigh how many bird nests because bird nest is big and small. So in terms of cost wise, let's go there on cost. Bird nest costs how much? About $300, depending on the grade, again, a few $100s, you know. But the premium bird nest, 1 box itself, all right, it can have about, it's worth, in calculation, about $3,000 worth of bird nest inside, encapsulated. All right, so it is something which made it so easy to take and so simple to take, and the essence are there. So that is how they manufacture it. And you say, wow, does it cost $3,000? No, it does not. NGF Plus does not cost $3,000. Why is bird nest being selected? Because out of 6 different ingredients, all right, the ingredients they chose, edible bird nest has the amount of amino acid that is the highest. Essential amino acid is important. People say, what is that? That is the smallest particle before it's being absorbed inside our intestine. And the amino acid that is important, that why is high and is concentrated. You don't need to load yourself with so many. You just take in terms of a couple of capsules will be enough to help in the nourishment of your brain neurons, brain nerve cells. Okay, so I have it in Chinese. I hope so it's extrapolated correctly. All right, so it's important to have the amino acid, because why? Every part of our body, every cell, it is all protein. All the enzymes that is responsible to get rid of the waste products in our brain is also a protein enzyme. So you need to have enough protein to stimulate and grow the proteins that is supposed to do its work in our brain. So in brief, in some of the other ingredients that is added into it, why they add purple choke berry? Because it helps to improve the metabolism. Remember I said the first one, metabolism improvement in proper must be good. It has anti-inflammation, that means it reduces inflammation. Sage extract, apart from improving digestion, it helps the nerve cells to grow because it nourishes more new nerve cells growth. Bacopa, memory enhancer, it has a calming effect. Bacopa is well known in research on calming effect in the brain. And we found that it was found, not say me, it is found that it's also anti-inflammatory. It reduces the immune aging and nerve cell regeneration improves. Nattokinase, you have another US way of saying nattokinase, so whichever is still correct. They reduce blood clots and prevent heart attack, stroke, and inflammation, and reduce inflammation. And beta-glucan is so widely used in what? In pharmaceutical drugs, is because why? Those who have problems with diabetes and diabetes related, they use this to control their condition. It's also anti-inflammatory. It reduces the immune system aging process and improves the metabolic rate. I put now in color so that you all can see much better and know basically the composition, metabolic rate improvement, nerve cell regeneration, reduce the immune aging, and anti-inflammation. So all these ingredients come together with the high amino acid protein to help nourish and re-nourish our nerve cell. Okay, so in simple way of putting it, NGF is all these are inside. Okay, now how to put it across? The solution to our nerve cell and brain decline is still gonna be NGF plus because of the research of what has been done. It produces brain detoxification enzyme. Remember, when you eat, you need to get rid of the waste. So it helps to manufacture the garbage truck that is supposed to get rid of the waste in the brain. All right, so it gets rid of the waste. The enzymes will take away, and so it will not be fully collected inside the brain cells, and then it regenerate because it feeds the nerve cell. It regenerate, and it regenerate means it grow again. It start to multiply. They always say the word proliferation. Okay, that means it grow and multiply, and by then you will know you get better. It's because you're able to have tissue repair coming in, nerve repair coming in. Okay, and it brings back those old cells which throw out one side and not working already, all the mature cells which have been deteriorated due to aging, the protection is gone and all that, and left the nerve hanging there, and the nerve cell will be out of the cycle. Okay, the nerve cell cycle, and like a normal work, it will bring it back again. All these cells, they'll bring it back and they will regenerate and start the cycle of multiplication nerve cells and start to grow nerve cells in our brain. So this improves our stroke condition, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and all the other neurological disorder that was mentioned earlier in earlier slides. So in other words, we are able to slow down brain degeneration, and we're able to slow down aging. So in NGF, this is what it's all about. The simple way of letting you know it is what it's all about. And all these are all research, difficult research that went through, and it produces these results. Just to give you an example of what it is in the cell cycle, okay? In the cell cycle, that means to say life cycle of a butterfly or life cycle of a frog, So there is a life cycle. So in the life cycle, you start growing, okay? The DNA, everything is good, All these connections are very good, and it moves into the phase, okay? And then after, when things start to get old and disconnect, okay? What happened? They start to leave the cycle. Okay, the DNA start breaking down and they start leaving the cycle. Okay, so when it start breaking down and leaves the cycle, it will start to degenerate, and then you're losing important nerve cells. But what NGF does is that it tries to bring back cells which are still able to function and regenerate them, okay, and join the cycle again. And that means to say, hey, you start to work again, reproduce again, multiply again, feel young again, and contribute to the nervous system. So this is what NGF Plus brings those non-working old mature cells back into the cell cycle. Okay? Simply put, this is what happens. So if you have seen our NGF brochure, for those who have not seen before, this is how it looks like. Okay? And what does it tell us? You open up and they say, oh, what is autonomous nervous system? And briefly tells you how it acts and how our rate of digestion will be. Our autonomic nervous system is those which are running automatically, which we do not need to control. So this is basically what it's trying to tell us. Okay? And it helps to facilitate all our functions. And why our autonomic nervous system is important? Because it helps our blood pressure, our heart problems, our breathing, swallowing, everything runs smoothly and automatically, right? And what happened is that you have problems in terms of degenerations and stroke, which will cause problems. Okay, if you have problems in the nervous system, you will have problems in all these areas. So the disorder will come in and it become worse and worse. So that's what our brochure is trying to tell us. All right, and why? Natural growth factor. A natural growth factor is premium bird nest extract. Okay, it has stated here quite clearly. Okay, and there's a natural way to support our autonomic nervous system. Now, the important thing that it is natural. You don't need drugs. You don't need a lot of prescription drugs coming in. So just to enhance our immunity and reduce the aging process in our cells. Okay, and just to let you know, it will help maintain and regenerate nerve cells regardless of your age. Now, benefits in brief again: stimulate the production of nerve growth cells, regulate the immune system, enhance the memory and retention, reduce all the degenerative problems, and also it helps to fight chronic diseases and viral infection that affects the brain. That's what I touched on, right? Now, the other thing is, it tells you a brief area on the synergic ingredients. Notice that all the yellow areas are those which I have highlighted. Anti-inflammation, important to know that it is in NGF. Why is it there? Improving the digestion because you improve the metabolic rate. Memory improvement. And also, I put down here, prevent heart attack and stroke. Why is that important? Nattokinase prevents heart attack and stroke because once you have a heart attack and a stroke will disable part of the brain. And when stroke destroys part of the nerves and the arteries and the blood clots in there, then that's where tissue death will start to come. All right. Now, it's important to know that when you have cardiovascular problems, you're going to have a brother-sister problem. All right. Brother-sister meaning when the sister comes, the brother will come after that. What it means by that, if you have heart cardiovascular problem, the next problem that will come will be diabetes. And if you have diabetes, the next problem will come is cardiovascular. So you have to delay these two coming together as much as possible. For those who already have these two, you're going to have a tough time managing it, but you have to manage it. Now, why is diabetes protection important? Diabetes protection is important, and lowering of blood glucose is important because why? When you have diabetes, what happened? This word called pathy. You have pathy means death, okay, cell death. And you have retinopathy means your eye nerves start to degenerate. That's why diabetes, you can't see very well, blur. All right. And what happens? Also, you get nephropathy. That means your nephro is your kidney, also will start shutting down. That's the reason why you see a lot of diabetic are having problem with dialysis. In all dialysis centers, 50% are diabetic patients. And then you also have neuropathy. Neuro means nerves dying. Your nerve on your feet walking on the ground, you can hardly feel very much. That's the reason why they need to wear shoes to protect themselves. Because you step on a nail, they say, oh, it's such a nice day today, but you were stepping on a nail, you don't know. So your nerves are already not so sensitive anymore. So that's the reason why diabetes will degenerate the nerve cells even faster and even more. So you need to protect yourself against that. That's the ingredients composition in there, working synergistically. It doesn't work one more better than the other. No, they have to work together. Amalgamated way of working. Okay. If you ever come across this chart, okay, let me have this out. If you ever come across this chart, it is in our brochure. Don't collapse. All right. The brochure will say a lot of things, but just to let you know, on the top diagram, okay, the light green bar results is as good as your medical standard. That means to say, over here, it is as good as this bar. That means to say, NGF when tested, it has shown results to grow more new nerve cells, okay, to replace the mature cells. And the bar below will tell you NGF, okay, shows a higher growth over the medical standard on the left here. That means to say NGF grows more over the mature cells. So all these shows you in terms of the expression of the nerves that it is growing and it's improving. So all these research are done, and all these are encapsulated in NGF plus. Okay. So in summary for the brochure is that it helps to boost the natural body capacity to promote nerve cell growth. That is the NGF, nerve cell growth factors, in our brain to function and to help our autonomic nervous system to be improved and our immune system improved. So try starting NGF today. So our growth factor formulation is all the ingredients that you saw just now, the 5 ingredients, including the premium bird nest extract. Extract meaning to say the premium concentration taken out. That is the only natural way, the natural solution to go. So how to start, you ask me. So first week, it'll be good that you start 1 capsule per day to get your body adapted well into it. All right. Then the second week onwards, you take 2 capsules per day and you maintain it. All right. And then try not to go over 4 capsules per day. Now, many of you were now thinking, why not go over 4 capsules? Okay, when you take more of good things to a certain extent, it just goes out of the body. All right, so 4 is enough. Don't need to go more than 4. All right, So that's the optimal dosage. But for those who want to treat aggressively, you will go up to 4 max, but don't go more than that. Maintenance is at 2 capsules, is fine. All right. So in the chat group, you can type those who have family members who are having dementia. Can you type 1? How many are there in your family has been diagnosed with dementia? Okay. All right. Now, for those who have family members who have diagnosed with Parkinson's type 2, all right? Those who have Parkinson's diagnosis type 2, and let's see how many of y'all over here. Okay. And those family members who are having the rest of them in terms of depression, schizophrenia, and all that, the other neurological, type 3. Okay, type 3 for all the others, you can see in the neurological disorders, the autism, depression, epilepsy, schizophrenia. Yeah? Okay, so there are incidents growing, as if you notice that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that we shall break out into some of the rooms to understand what we know. Okay, don't be too apprehensive. All right, it's just going into a room to understand what we know, and some points to understand is that try to assess and discover whether NGF is needed in the given scenario. I'm going to give 4 scenarios. Okay, each group may have 1 or maybe 2 scenarios if you like to have, but at least we'll have 1. And those who have started to use NGF before, all right, maybe you want to start off first and understand and show that the rest will able to understand what is it. And the number 3 is that please, as you have a scenario, probe to understand the person better. Okay, one person will be a patient or a friend, and then the other one will be asking. Okay, and then express empathy and concern. Why I have to stress 3B is because you do not want to bring a person down who is having neurological problems and put them in a difficult position. All right, but you want to understand how are they coping, what are their conditions like, and empathize their difficult scenarios of how they are going through it, and probably the family members also, all right, to understand. So you get to understand how these people who are having these disorders are going through. All right, and if you have some testimonials by your own, yeah, feel free to contribute, and then you offer possible solutions. Okay, and probably you may want to find out how to start NGF and the doses and duration. But again, assess, go back to number 1, whether NGF plus is needed in that given scenario. If it's not needed, okay, it's not needed. But if someone may say it's not needed, the other person will say, hey, it is useful. Let's hear what that someone have to say. Okay, at the end of each room, contribute a little takeaway and a learning point before we start to gather again. Okay, and the example that you're gonna see is that a relative in 50s feels more frustrated and agitated at performance at work and with the family at home, and trying to cope with the change in personality of this person. So, and also the person has uncontrolled dietary food intake. So how do you approach? Do you feel that is NGF suitable or not suitable? How's your gauge on this? And example number 2, friend in the 60s. You notice that the limbs, they are moderate tremors. Tremors is what? Is shaking. Behavior is not the same. So the behavior is now, the friend for a while, and then the behavior is not the same as before. And you know that he became more restless, and you notice that his lifestyle is not healthy by probing, okay? And you see the person having difficulty eating and drinking. Why I say that? Because have you seen a person with tremor before? Okay, the person with tremor is trying to open up the thing like that. You know, it's not easy. Yeah, imagine if you want to drink soup. Okay, so it's gonna be very challenging, and sometimes it can be very heart wrenching to look at it because I see my uncle like that also. It's very heart wrenching. And example number 3, ex-colleague. You have an ex-colleague in the 40 found simple work again but feels irritable and agitated, and he said he had a stroke 12 months ago. Okay, at least 3 daily living activities, he need assistance, but he still can work. All right, and the family wants to help out, but they don't know how to help and don't know what else to do. So, do you think you can help? What can you help? How can you suggest? How can you give some solutions? And the last example, a person in the 40s have an unhealthy lifestyle, smokes, drinks, and there's no tomorrow. Believes in nutrition supplements some more, and works with high stress in the US and Europe stock market, but cannot focus very well now. He's losing control of his reasonings and how he makes decisions in his work. And another clue, he falls sick often. Okay, what you think would help him apart from rest? Okay, so all right, so you're now able to be transported to your various rooms.
All right, we will be transported right now. How long, Gerald?
Is 20 minutes sufficient?
Okay.
Is everyone back? Think everyone
yes,
is
back.
Yeah?
Yes.
Great. Okay, then we shall have Gerald continue with his talk. Gerald, all yours. Can't hear you, Gerald.
Okay. If okay, so I hope that you have in your rooms, on your little groups, just want to find out what have been discovered, and is NGF plus needed in the simple scenario. If you have the questions there to discuss, some of the groups have the questions, some are just sharing in a group, and if it's gainful for those who have NGF users to share and to start off the sharing, I think I hope that was useful, and we're able each group to contribute a little takeaway or learning point from your sharing.
Hi, Gerald.
Hi.
Hi, this is Badette. Yes.
Hi, Badet.
Hello. Yeah, I'd like to volunteer for our group.
Thank you.
We did not do the exercise that you recommended. Instead, we did sharing of testimonials.
Yeah.
So that because we have more new members in the group, and I just wanted to share with you the experience of one of my customers from Cebu City, and she's been diagnosed. She's 36 years old, diagnosed with epilepsy since 7 years old. And one of the things that they have seen from taking both NGF plus and Celergen is the duration of the seizures has lessened. So usually it takes about 10 minutes, but now it's a bit 1 to 2 minutes per seizure. And also before her monthly period comes, the seizures would increase. So now she's only having seizures once a month.
Oh, thank you, Badet. Wow, it's amazing to know that improvement. Yeah. I noticed your hair have changed also. Okay.
Elsa, Frozen.
Oh, okay, it's not my screen that is okay. All right. Yeah.
That's your screen.
Do you
Sorry
have any
to distract you.
we have any others who will be able to share their experience?
Can we invite Jasmine to share in the main room? Because we heard in a breakout room a wonderful story how she helped her father. Yes, yeah. Maybe you have to unmute first, Jasmine.
Yes, Jasmine.
Hmm?
Hi, Jasmine. You need to unmute.
Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. May actually is the one who suggested that my dad take NGF. So after 1 year of taking NGF, then my dad started to turn. You know, before that, for 16 years I never sleep. Whatever time I sleep, maybe sometime at 2 a.m. in the morning, he will come and wang the door. Then we have to store the time to bring him out to let him go out in a more decent time. If not, he would just want to go out. It was very torturing because my children then was very young, so I'm the only breadwinner in the house. So I have to work, and then I don't have time to sleep for 16 years. So NGF, after 1 year, then he started to calm down. And now, thank God for NGF. Our friends stay at home quite never say want to go out. Yeah. And the other stepfather, he had just joined my family Chinese New Year, since Chinese New Year. Before that, he when he just came, he was in very bad condition. He was flaky, he was dirty, his condition is so bad. I put him on NGF and Selagen. Now it's May, so it's about three over months. He has actually calmed down, less angry, and he actually look very nice now. So I'm looking forward to see the miracle happen after 1 year of continuing. So NGF actually you have to take long term. For myself, my memory actually improved. So now I'm studying for long courses because I have confidence that I will remember. I can pass exam now.
Wow.
Thank you, Jasmine. It's an
Thanks.
inspiring story that you have actual ones that you really go through. It's tough.
Yeah, but
Not
thanks
enough
to
rest.
NGF, now I can study because last time I cannot study because I have to watch him. If not, you will get out of the house.
Oh,
Yeah, my worst nightmare was that you lost. So we keep thinking about tracking, That time if the tracking thing come out, I will be sleep better. But now I don't need tracking already.
okay.
Perhaps we can invite May, who introduced NGF to Jasmine. May, would you like to share what's the reason that you introduced NGF to Jasmine, your friend?
Okay. Actually, I also can't remember, but anyway, just
It
means
looks like you
father's.
need NGF also.
Because it's 3 years ago. It's about 3 years ago. Yeah. So, that time we just started. So anyway, after the Jasmine fathers took NGF, have shown very good result. I actually give it to my dad, which he shows symptoms of dementia, early stage, which when he talk, he start to stammer the words, and that is a very early sign. So I, without hesitating, instead of giving NGF to my mom, but my mom don't want, so guinea pig my dad. So he took it and it showed very good progressing. He become more chatty. After about 1-2 months or 3 months, he become more chatty. And he also share with me what sort of wine is good to drink. Yes. So, he's a kampong man. Yes, but he don't know English. He don't know how he don't know how to write. He don't know how to read. But he can show me the bottle with the labels and with the flavor, the taste that this is good, which has never happened in his life. That he talked this way to us. Yeah. So NGF definitely helped him, and he's more happy after taking NGF. Yes.
Oh, thank you, May. Oh, that's
you.
amazing. It's sometimes very heartwarming to see your loved one improve, and that is something which sometimes you cannot give $1,000,000 to. Yeah, yeah. Anyone who has more younger people who have taken it, maybe for the other neuro conditions.
Hi, Gerald.
Hi, Gina. Oh, you
Hi.
have something to share?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I was just sharing in my room because there was one question whether children can take NGF as well. So I shared in my breakout room that I was probably one of the first users of NGF when even before it was launched, actually. So when I heard about NGF from Professor Lim, the one thing that caught my attention is, of course, autism, because I had back then, my youngest son, Gabriel, was 5 years old, and he was diagnosed with severe autism. And so I was very excited to hear about NGF from Professor Lim, and I immediately gave it to him and tried it on him. One of the key one of the key problems or issues we had back then with him is his sleep. It's very common for autistic children to have difficulties in having quality of sleep or continuous sleep. He can only sleep for about 2 to 3 hours maximum, Gerald. So
Oh.
imagine he will be waking up at 2 a.m. and then another 5 a.m. So we as caregivers are also suffering as well. You mentioned earlier when someone has a disease in the family, the rest of the family suffers as well. So we are also not having enough rest as well. So after NGF, about close to about couple of weeks of taking it, we noticed that gradually his sleep was increasing from 3 hours to 5 hours to 6 hours. And then at one point, he was sleeping for 7 to 8 hours continuously. So it's a big, big help to us, me, and as well as to my helper as well. So that means the whole family can have restful nights. And not only that, the other effect is he's able to perform better because he can sleep better. He can perform better in his therapies. So autism is quite a long journey, especially with his severe condition. But I'm still hopeful with NGF, and until now I'm maintaining him on 2 a day. And because for children, there was one question: how do I administer it to him? So we cut it open because he cannot swallow. He's very young then. So we cut it open, we squeeze it on a teaspoon, and then we add in 1 or 2 drops of honey just so can manage the taste. And then over time, he was okay with it. Now he's just turned 9 years old, and actually he can swallow the whole thing already. So we don't need to cut it anymore.
Yeah. Amazing, Gina. Thank you so much, Gina. Yeah. As a parent, I empathize, and yes, it is a good relief. And especially if your child, uh, for a child, that something is not right, the whole world stops revolving for you, It is like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Gina.
Welcome.
We can invite Alice to share because she has a lot those young kids, special kids taking this NGF.
Where is it?
Alice?
Alice?
Hello.
Okay.
I speak broken English. Okay, actually NGF also help me improve my memory. And I got cases that a lot of children, when they take even their autism also, they will help a lot. Like last time before we let them use this NGF, our training to help them can learn, we need about 4 or 5 years to train them into normal school. But
Alice,
now
could I Alice, can I stop you there for a short while because I want to introduce you because not everybody here knows you. Alice is actually a principal of a school. It is actually a learning center for especially to help children who have needs for a slow learner or special needs. So Alice is actually a principal and she has many, many years of a lot of experience in helping all these children. Back to you, Alice.
Last time our training we need about 4-5 years, then we can help the children go into normal school. But now with NGF, some of them maybe some of them 6 years old, they still cannot speak, and after using this NGF, we will speed up their training. So some of them 1-2 years they can learn very well, and their memory is improved a lot. So normally how I let them use is normally they will use libiotic first before they use NGF. Yeah. So actually NGF really create a miracle. Some of them they after taking 1 week, and we can see a lot of improvement. The parent will say, so last time when we train, they can't understand. Then after taking this NGF, then they can train very easily. Yeah. When we train also, like this time, because in Malaysia, ours is in RM. So some of them, they buy maybe 10 pieces first, 10 capsules first, and let them try. So after try 10 days, we can see the improvement within these 10 days. Yeah.
Okay.
We got a lot of maybe 6 years old still can't speak. After they use 10 days, they will have a lot of different sound coming in. Then together with the training, then we will see a lot of improvement. So we were to say about 90% of the children, when the parents they cooperate with us on the food, on the exercise together, they use NGF also. We will see now about 1-2 years they can reach their target. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
so
you.
really improve a lot. Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks.
You're helping the next generation to think better, to sharpen their brain.
Yeah, it really sharpen the brain. Even myself also, it helps me a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, Alice. Wonderful sharing.
Gerald, can I share something?
Yes.
I'd like to share one of my members. She's not here tonight. Lisa, her mom has got Parkinson's. Okay, Parkinson's, and she says NGF turned around her mom's health. Her mother is about 70 lah. Lisa's mom has Parkinson's, and she took a really deep in 2017, and Lisa was really very stressed lah, because she doesn't stay with her mom, so she has to shuttle up and down, and be a subsidiary caregiver is very stressful also. Yeah, she was physically weak and depressed. Her speech deteriorated into a mumble and was hardly audible. Lisa couldn't hear her. She would walk leaning on the maid. I mean, she's very weak, her legs, and dragging her feet during their weekend marketing trips. She visits her mother every week. She could not even lift her leg to get into the car, and Lisa was very worried. At that time, NGF was launched, and Lisa decided to help her mother by giving her start her NGF, because she heard about the improvement of nerve cells lah. Yeah, she started her mother NGF in December 2017, and miraculously her mother could go on the weekly marketing trips with her with no problem, without the assistance of the maid. She witnessed a big improvement, she said, in her walking. In fact, she began to walk on her own without leaning on the maid. And also her speech became clearer and audible, and she's able to hold a decent conversation with Lisa like old times as mother and daughter. Even her left eye seems to recover quickly after she had a cataract operation that very same week. Her mood is better, And Lisa says the only change was that she started her mother on NGF and she never regretted it. Her mom is very happy with increased strength in her legs, and she's very fervent on the NGF without reminder. Yeah, that's wonderful. I really like NGF. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Patsy. Yeah, it's each story. I think each one will have a very good story, and it's a very personal story, and yeah, it's something which you treasure. Anyone else who needs to share some? Anyone else?
Yes, I would like to share for my office cleaner, Leela, whom I invited here today, so that everybody could benefit from it. No doubt mine is not on brain, but hers is on her back, that back ache that is her nerves, that is twitch nerves that the doctors say that that causes her severe back ache that lasted 12 years. 12 years, she was suffering for 12 years on this backache. So when I first started her on Selagen, it didn't really help very much, but it at least give nutrients to the cells for, I think, faster recovery. So then she seek help with massage, acupuncture, and also injection at NUH. Every injection lasts her about 6 months, right? Yeah. And it was really very painful that she always had to take 1 day off just for the injection. On her third injection, the doctor said, I cannot inject you anymore. You have to go for operation. And no, the back operation is a high risk. And the doctor said that she will be off duty for 3 months. And with her age at that time was 69. 69, because that was in 2017. So the risk was really high. And then eventually she came to me and said, hey, can you help? What to do? So luckily, we were very lucky that at that time, NGF was introduced. And that time I also tried. And I said, hey, this one you can try. And luckily, she took my advice and she tried. I gave her 3 capsules only. So she tried on the 3 capsules. After the 3rd capsule, she said her brain doesn't knock on her scalp anymore because she has fits since age 14. Okay. So it also helped her with her fits that she doesn't have that relapse. So okay, after that, after seeing the effect on her scalp, she started taking 1 box, and then she took 1 a day, every day. By the 1.5 box, she said that she can cook a full meal without sitting down. Otherwise, one dish you have to sit 3-4 times to cook a dish. So by 1 3/4 box, she said, oh, her backache was at least 80% okay. Okay, 1 3/4 box. And then, but the doctor said, you must come back to see me. Okay, you have to come on the operation day. And she went. And her right leg that she had operation for a lump many years back that she had numbness, this right leg was also okay. So both legs are perfect. The numbness is gone. So she continued to take. Then she didn't need the operation, luckily. Then she continued to take, and now she's fully recovered. For that sort of operation, at least cost 25,000 with full subsidies. Because her one eye for cataract is cost her 2,000 already. So it was 2,800. Yeah. So she can share her testimony. Yeah, if you all want to ask her about anything regarding backache, that's the best person to ask now.
Thank you.
And it relieves her also. She get better sleep also. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Leela. Very wonderful. I'm glad to hear your recovery and still recovering.
Yeah. She is having better energy and better brain power than her younger peers in the office. She's now 73, 74. 72 now. No, 74. 73 this year, yeah.
Okay, age.
My 3 floors of warehouse space without having to stop. But last time she has stopped many times. Yeah.
Good. Wow. Good leader. Yeah. Wonderful improvement. Thank you so much, Nancy, on the behalf. And so will there be any more before I just do some conclusion on some of the points?
Gerald,
Sorry.
it's me. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I won't be able to share.
Dr. Diona. Yes.
Yeah. Morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Diona from the Philippines. I'm practicing integrative holistic medicine. So I combine the best of Eastern and Western medicine to improve the lives of everyone. So I love medical grade all natural supplements like NGF. So before I recommend anything to my patients, I always try it first to myself and to my family. Should always be a guinea pig. So this is funny because when I tried it on myself, I started to remember memories I tried to bury in the past. And also when I dreamt of all my crushes since I was in high school. Yeah, so funny. I wanted to forget them already, but NGF made me remember them. So there, when I dreamt of my forgotten crushes and said, "Wow, it really works." So then I started to recommend it to all my patients, to all the various neurodegenerative conditions that you mentioned. I do recommend to them, and I just want to focus to highlight on how it helps my millennial patients who are most of them struggling with anxiety and depression. I'd rather give them NGF than put them on chemical antidepressants because it's so ironic. Antidepressants, their side effect, depression. And all of my patients, they come back to me, they tell me that their loved ones' conditions improve. Yeah, and they are all grateful. And I just want to share this very touching sharing of my patient because his wife had a ruptured aneurysm, millennial also. And to give you an idea, ruptured aneurysm is like your brain was hit by a bullet and the bullet exploded inside your brain. So can you imagine the damage that has happened to his wife at the peak of her life? So then her wife became a vegetable. So this is what happened to her. After just 1 week on cell therapy, I combined both Celergen and NGF. This is what happened. She said, Dr. D, here are our observations after 1 week. Eye focus and movement improved. Attention span lengthened. She will stay awake to finish a movie, also attentive when people are around her. Facial expressions like smiling has happened more frequent now. Deep sleep after taking NGF. Mouth opening and movement improved also. Thank you very much, Doc B. Hoping for increase in awareness and consciousness in the coming days. Merry Christmas. So this is really Merry Christmas indeed. Following her up every day, and yeah, she is improving every day, and I pray for the miracle that she will awaken one day. Yeah. So I just want to leave a message to everyone that brain degeneration starts 25 years until it manifests. So if you have the Alzheimer's gene, the Parkinson gene, or the psychiatric gene, then don't wait for symptoms to manifest. You have to start taking NGF now because remember, prevention is always better than cure. So remember, it takes 25 years for symptoms for them to start showing up. So start taking NGF now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Diona. Okay, you
One
just
last
concluded my conclusion.
One last one.
Yes, yes.
Okay. For me, when I take NGF, as I age, my brain capacity is not very good. I can't do as much work as before. But after starting NGF, my brain power goes back to when I was younger. I can do a lot more things because now I'm planning for my office move. I have to think a lot. So it is just nice. And after hearing that, my Indonesian relative actually started taking, and she said, yeah, it improves her brain power. So the capacity returns back even when we age.
Thank you, Nancy.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right. And if not anyone else, I can continue on. Okay. All right. So let me share screen again. Thanks, Dr. Diona. You've covered half my conclusion. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, let me show my screen. So yes, remember your takeaways, okay, which is important, your takeaways, which is a high quality bird nest extract for 5 types of nutrition extract for growth for our nerve cells. So coming back to that is the quality of the extracts that we have. All right, like some people, like in one of the rooms, someone say, yeah, if the person don't want to take capsules, hey, ask them to take its bird nest, okay, in the high extract concentration. And the other thing about that is like I said, one doesn't work alone, it's all together working. So it is good to take nutrition, but you need to take the right type of nutrition for the right amount to give that right impact in terms of brain nerve cell redevelopment. All right, so it is important. I mean, we can eat a lot, but are we eating the right things? So another takeaway is the genetic. Always remember, don't be limited by genetics. If I have a 99% bad genes genetically, it is still worthwhile, because to take NGF, I can still help in my condition. Remember, what genetically happens is that the waste in the mind, in the brain, cannot be got rid of. Certain enzyme protein cannot be got rid of. So you need to manufacture another enzyme protein to take away and detox and take away the waste. So detox that brain. Okay. So your immune status is important, because the degeneration of your nerve cell and the nerve protection will give inflammation, and you don't want your immune system start attacking your own brain. Your own immune system is supposed to attack any foreign matter which will sort of intrude into your body, but not into your own cells. All right. The other thing is the aging status. What is it again? The aging status. When you age, you don't need to know that you're gonna be a one-way direction. You can delay that status aging by having that regeneration. So with the brain detox, and you have increase of nerve cell regeneration, this is how to slow down, like what Chomping said in the room. It's a downward slope, but your slope now is still there, but the downward cycle or going down is lessened and slowed down. Okay, we can never take away aging, okay, but it will able to age, and you're able to age with grace. Okay. So what are the frequently asked questions one may have if you're in stumped with this, but a lot of time when we talk about this, we will have how to sharpen our brain. Okay, you have that coming in. Is there a natural way to sharpen our brain? When you hear in similarity of this, always know using the nutrition way, the natural way, the safer way is a better way. All right, and that's how you explain NGF. And to sharpen our brain, you need good metabolism. So what does it consist of? You will say, there will be people asking, so what it consists of? So you don't need to say too much, but remember a few things. You need to have the bird nest extract, all right, the essence of it, all right. Like I say, one box cost of bird nest is a lot or less than a bird nest in grammage. That means to say a 700 grams box costs about $3,000 in terms of bird nest, pure bird nest, but in NGF, it is less than $200, right? It helps. The cost effectiveness comes down and the effectiveness, the efficacy goes up. And then you look into the ingredients. If you can remember some of these, it will be good to help explain whoever needs to understand what NGF consists of. Right. What's the difference between edible bird nest and NGF? As mentioned, look into the normal bird nest. How is it done? And look into the high technology of how it's being extracted, the essence of it. All right, just I mentioned the brand's essence of chicken versus 6 chicken you're gonna eat, you know. So the essence of the bird nest extract is so pure, important, that it's able to be encapsulated in this way. So how does it work? Yeah, you can say any of this part of it will be good. Cell detox helps the brain to detox by taking away the waste product, bringing back the cell to regenerate again. So all these are the things you remember when you talk about NGF. All right, to the person, to whoever is who wants to know. And then a lot of people, when it comes to this, they pengsan, they collapse. How much does it cost? So expensive. Well, there are some responses that you can have. All right, what are the responses that you can have? You can always say, for my response, okay, some examples. You have tried, say, many other ways over the years. You may want to try NGF Plus now with the scientific breakthrough done in Singapore. Second response I may give is another alternative to compare what you can regain in sharpening your brain memory and you still enjoy the life with your family. NGF Plus actually is very affordable. Look, what is the trade-off? All right? Or you can respond with the latest ingredient extract research and modern biotechnology done, there is none other like it put together in a capsule form. Nowhere in this world. Or you can also, I can respond as slowing down brain aging using the natural way means no drug side effects. Therefore, NGF Plus is safe and affordable. Or I give you one more one to give a response is taking NGF Plus benefits your own preventive health. Isn't preventive better than cure? And offers the solution to delay our aging process gracefully. This is what is called having quality of life, isn't it? Aging gracefully, have no side effects, and at the same time using preventive healthcare. Don't wait until the symptoms comes on is important. And just like what Dr. Diona says, and the quality of life will give you a lot of benefits. So let me help you, and then you go on and talk about it. Okay, so I'd like to also thank everyone for your active participation, and that is my line. Thank you for your time also, and I hand back to you, to my MC, Veronica, for the evening. And if there's any conclusion by Alvin, please add in.
No, thank you very much, Gerald. I think you have made the presentation so smooth and so easy to understand. Definitely, it is a blessing to all of us here to have a veteran in the pharmaceutical industry of 30 over years, making things very easy and very digestible. Thank you very much, Gerald, on behalf of everybody.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Over
you.
to the Baron, yeah.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Elvin. Yes, I'm so happy to hear this talk this evening because it has cleared up a lot of confusion. He's cut out all the jargon and made everything in layman's term and easy to understand. So everyone, I'm sure you all want to invest on your body wellness, and with immediate action, get started on experiencing NGF. So we have a special promotion. If you buy 10 boxes, you get 3 free. Gerald said one box is about $210, Gerald. It's just a little over $200. So you get 13 boxes, for $2,100. So that's a very good deal indeed. So those of you who are not familiar, do talk to the friend who invited you to this talk, so that they'll show you how to get the NGF. So once again, thank you everyone for attending. Gerald, thank you so much for this wonderful talk. And we would like to take a photo. Can everyone turn on their videos, please? Turn on your videos, show your love. Show your favorite NGF.